Hello, my friends. Welcome to our craft room. Today we are taking you on a tour of our space. Our craft room is actually broken up into a few different pieces. So here in the inside of the space is what we're going to show you today. This is mostly where we do paper crafting and vinyl crafts and 3D printing. That is all done in here. We do have a separate office and a wood shop. And we will show you those at a different time. Please know that it is never my intention to make you feel like your space isn't enough, whatever that space looks like. I know that a lot of times we get so wrapped up in having this perfect space that we forget to just take time to make the magic. And we want to make sure that you are feeling inspired. You might find some stuff that works for you. You might not, and that's okay. Also, you will find in this craft room, I am not one of the people that has a white craft room to speak of, with the exception of the walls, which are kind of a creamy color. Nothing else in my craft room is white. I am extremely messy when I am crafting, and I have found that that just doesn't work for me. So most of the stuff in my craft room is either a dark wood color, or I've painted a lot of stuff this kind of fun blue of these cabinets behind me. Also, please know that nothing in this video is sponsored. These are all, if I talk about a product or a company or any of that kind of stuff, this is all stuff that I have purchased myself, use, love. I am not on a design team for any of these companies. I don't get promotional money from any of these companies. I mean, y'all, if I could, I would, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. But there's a lot of these companies that I just really, truly love them. I love their products, and I feel like they are really fantastic. And therefore, if you see them, I will try my hardest to put links down below for anything that I can. If you have questions or comments, please make sure that you leave them below. And we're gonna head outside and come on in, and we're gonna take you on the tour. Okay, so we are gonna start behind the door. Here you can see my little besom broom. That doesn't actually go there, but I haven't had a chance to hang it where it goes yet. Over here, we've got aprons. And these are mostly different fun craft aprons that people have given me, or some of them are like ones that, like, this one has my name on it. That is from when I used to be a flight attendant in another life. These are old Starbucks ones. And then I've got some fun bags back here. This is literally where my broom lives. If you have a craft room with any type of non-carpeted floor, which I highly recommend in any craft room, you should always have a broom. On the back of the door, you can see I have this hanging, I think they're really supposed to be shoe racks, but this thing used to be very full. And I mean, like, like every pocket completely full. You can see it's not very full right now. In this new craft room, I have a lot more space, and so I was able to kind of condense that. Okay, moving on to the messy work table. This work table is a bit messy, but it just is what it is. So we're just going to start here and we'll just kind of work our way down. These, I'm so proud of the fact that these are actually currently empty. There is nothing in any of these 6. These are from IKEA. And I liked them because they like have these little like, they're kind of like Lego legs and they hook together. This is just some random tape. We've got some packing tape, masking tape, and this is like a double-sided tape. Moving back up, these are cotton rounds and cotton balls there. And then in here, this is little puffy things for my corkboard. I don't really know why they're in here because my corkboard lives in my office. I do have a lint roller here, my glue gun, and this is a little desktop vacuum. So there is that. This is all borders and things, literally all of that. And then this is all some cards and things that I'm working on, and this is a hodgepodge of stuff that needs to be gone through. I have one of these on every craft table. This one is the Altenew one. It is super tiny, and so it's really great for like traveling and what have you. I've got my little tool caddy, and then this is where I keep all of my stencils. This is a magnetic, these are magnetic, and I don't really know what they're supposed to be for. I got them at Daiso, but the magnets weren't quite strong enough, so I literally just used some binder clips, and it works really well because these get really, really heavy, and I do have 2 of these on here, and this is literally where I keep all of my stencils. Moving back up, these are reusable paper towels, and then I've got some, what do I call these? Magic erasers. This is paper pads and stationery. These are glue refills. Over here, I've got a stamp scrubber. This is my stamp chamois and just some microfiber cloths. This is my water bath for cleaning stencils. And then I've got some cleaning wipes, electronic, and then Lysol. That little tub I use for when I am, what am I trying to say? Like weeding with my silhouette, whatever. And then this is like a hardier scrubber. Then moving down, we have this thing, which I'm pretty sure I got this thing at Daiso too. It's just a paper towel roll and it clips on. I really like it. It actually might have come from Michael's. I don't really remember, but it works really well. In here, these are magnetic for brads and things is what I use them for. Those came from Harbor Freight. And then I've got some scissors here, alcohol and goof off there. Down here, this is just like a little charging station. It's supposed to be for the foil quill stuff, but that's not what I use it for. These are bells. This is my PlayStation because that's how I listen or watch like DVDs, and I have an obscene amount of those. And so if I want to watch a DVD, I have that. This is literally another bin that I need to go through. This is all like stuff for little shaker cards. It's all little, oops, I'm going to throw it. It's all these little guys, like this little stuff for shaker cards. That is my coffee. This is the paint that I used to paint the other desks, and I kept it because A, it's not empty. B, I'm a big fan of this brand. It was called Chalky Chicks. I'd never tried it before. It's a little bit expensive. I believe this jar, which is, I don't even know how little this jar is, but this jar, which is 32 fluid ounces, was like 45 bucks. Anyway, but that's out because I'm going to paint some more cabinets in this room. This is all for making thank you cards for my business. We got some pens. This thing came from Michael's. You guys, this thing's normally like 40 bucks. Do not pay $40. I think I paid $10 for this thing on a sale. Don't pay 40 bucks for it. But it is really cool. And I love that it's color coded and it's fun and it's rainbowy. And so in the top ones, I have like paper clips and things. And then bottom ones, I have like buttons and stuff like that. And that's kind of how it is for every single color. And they are color coded. I always keep a cork board on every work surface. Don't ask me why. And on this one, instead of a glass mat, I have the scrapbook.com, this kind of like silicone mat, I guess. And then we're going to go on, we're going to go to the drawers. This drawer houses, as you can see, all of the cords. And then this is like tape that's not double stick. So it's just like Scotch tape usually. There are some Post-it notes in there. That roller my kids got for me, and it actually is really fun. I'm going to do some stuff with that fun roller and some ink, but I have not tried it yet. This top drawer houses a bunch of my tools. So this is like a go-to tool. This is like for jewelry making, but I use the snips a lot when I get like dies that come and they're like not disconnected. And then this is an engraving tool, and that's my EpiPen because I am allergic to spiders. And then this one is also just another little toolkit, little travel-y one. These are corner punches, and these are pretty hardy. This one is a stub and scallop one, and then this one is a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch round. All of my acrylic blocks fit in this little like sandwich box, pencil case, whatever you want to call this thing. And then this is my little tiny Heidi Swap stapler. These are the hooks that I use for putting my stencils up right here. This is just a spare piece for the pegboard wall. And then I've got some rulers. Those are just some extra blades for what have you. And the next drawer down, I broke this drawer last night, so I'm not going to pull this all the way out because I literally broke it last night. This one has just some brads, some hair tie type of little things, and then sequins. My kid actually dropped a bunch of like, one of my stepsons dropped a ton of like sequins in with the hair ties, so now it's like sequiny hair ties. These are my jelly plates for gel printing. I've got some just like kind of mats and stuff under here, some grid mats and different things. I've got some rulers. I've got like the T ruler back here. And that is what lives in that drawer. And it's going to be a little hard to close because like I said, I broke this side last night. So, oops. Those actually don't belong in there and they are going to get moved. I just haven't done it yet. Those go with a press, the Memory Keepers press, whatever. We Are Makers press, whatever they call that brand now. It used to be We Are Memory Keepers, and now I think it's called We Are Makers. Anyway, parchment paper. I really like this in the squares because I use it a lot when I'm crafting, so I do keep that in there. There's a couple of notebooks just for ideas or test stamping or whatever. And then I've got a bunch of different mats and things in here as well. This is my light box. And then I've got some other just hodgepodge of stuff. Down here, you guys, sorry, that was a little fast, but this, if you guys can see this, this is literally all paper. Now, some of this paper, it's all 12 by 12. The beginning of it is all rainbow colored. And then as you move on, it quits being rainbow colored and you'll start seeing it go to like collections. So like, I think starting like here, it's like, this is quick quotes. This is SEI. This is photo play. This is, whatever it is, simple stories, like whatever. So these are all, and I try to keep them by collection. And so if you see these like little bags, that's because it's a whole collection, including all the ephemera, all the stickers, all the whatevers. And then in this drawer, we've got some stipple brushes and some sponges. This is just some little tools. This is all adhesive. That back there is for an what do they call that? Instax. That was my daughter's. I don't even know where it is, to be honest with you, but there it is. These are some like refills for different things. We've got some ink refills here. And then these are all the little foamy domes for these puppies for ink blending. So that is what lives in there. Underneath here, which I don't know if you guys can see this. This is more paper, y'all. More paper. That orange one is current projects. But this is all paper. And this one is like travel and Christmas and like literally just all paper. With the exception of those two, which these two are actually like chipboard blanks. So that is what is in there. Okay, moving on. This is where my TV lives. I do not, oh, sorry, y'all. That was crazy. I don't keep a huge TV in here, but this is where my TV lives. This bag right here is super cute. You can't really see it, and I wish that you could, but it's got these cute little flowers along the whole thing in a rainbow color. That is all Doodlebug. And then next to it, this entire top section is Vicki Boutin. Going down, this is just ephemera from different companies. I do have them labeled by company. And then this starts the collections. This is all Simple Stories stuff here by collection. And then moving down, also Simple Stories here. These blue ones are either page kits, card kits, whatever, from either SEI or Quick Quotes. And then back here, I've got more paper. And this is not paper I use very often, which is why I don't care that it's back here. This work table right here, it's on wheels. And so I can move it out of the way as needed. But, so it doesn't bother me that these are kind of hidden back there. Moving down to the bottom, this one right here is all ephemera from like Echo Park, Quick Quote, or not Quick Quotes, Echo Park, Cartabella, which is owned by Echo Park, if you didn't know that, and Photo Play, which no longer exists, which is super sad to me. Next to that, this is, this right here is my, I think it's Kalour. It's Kalour. These are my colored pencils. And then I've got, next to that, I've got coloring books. And that is that one. So moving on, I have a bunch of chairs in here because I have a really bad knee and I can't sit for super long. So I have chairs at every work service. But over here, you can see I've got this really gorgeous big window. It doesn't have any curtains. I don't know. I've been contemplating hanging my rainbow curtain that I made with the little paint can curtains there. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But this is just like a fun little shelf for decoration in the windowsill. And then you can see, if you can see this is this black rod that goes right here. I use this for filming. So that is that. These bins, just a mess. They need to be gone through. Like I said, I do keep a die cut machine on every work surface. This one is the Sizzix Big Shot. I have had this thing for like 20 something years. It is still going strong. Really love this machine. I've got a glass mat here. Sorry about the reflection. I usually keep kind of a thing over the top of it when I'm filming, but I didn't do that today. This I just think is really fun. So I do keep some Post-it notes and some, there's a Oracle deck there. This is just little bands for pens or for travel notebooks, what have you. And then this is all hearts. I don't know why. This little easel usually has something sitting on top. I just haven't remade it yet. There are cards that I've made from a specific collection in that one. And then we have this fun little, so the doors open up and we have this fun little, so this is all alcohol wipes. And I'm trying to do stuff one-handed. It's not really working out for me. Tiny little sewing kit. And then this is like stretchy cord for like bracelet making. Yes, my sunglasses live up there because sometimes I get migraines. We have hot glue sticks in here. Yes, I know people are like, why are they not with your hot glue gun? Because they're not. Because this makes sense in my world. This is for tumblers. You put them on there and it spins them around and what have you. I've got circle like O-rings. I call them O-rings. I don't know what you really call them, but little circle clamps in there. This is all different kinds of erasers. So I've got like the kind that literally will erase anything. I've got the white ones. I've got some sand ones. This is the ephemera die cuts from Layle by Mail's season pass for winter and spring. This was a gift from my stepson for Christmas. I have not had a chance to get it put away or decide where it's going to go, but there's that. More cards to be sent out. This is just literally all pens, and then this is stamp cleaner here. But these are all different pens, which I really love. This is a bin of stuff that I have not gone through that I'm working on. It's traveler's notebook stuff. This is all flowers, like different papery flowers of different types and kinds and whatever. And I got these little, if you guys can see, there's actually 3 of them tall. And I got those at the dollar store. They're made to like stand on top of each other, but I didn't really feel like they did that very well. So I just kind of taped them together, or you could glue them together or whatever. I love these, you guys. This one, these are like little snack baskets, and I kind of have them all over the place, and I love them for like ephemera that you're taking with you. This, y'all, this is ink pads, and they're all like Stampin' Up or Close to My Heart or whatever. They all still are pretty inky, and I'm honestly pretty impressed with them because I have no idea how old they are. This is something that came from my mom. And so it's like, I can't bring myself to get rid of it right now because it's all in her handwriting. So, for those of you that don't know, my mom passed away last year and I inherited a bunch of her craft things as well. So we've got some pens here, and then I've got this super fun, so I have these all over the craft room as well. This is, literally just like a picture frame, like an acrylic picture frame, and I put a fun little card in there. But I use these when I'm stamping, if I'm stamping with like really small stamps or like word stamps or whatever, so that I don't lose them before I put them away. More pens and what have you there. And then this is more Traveler's Notebook kit stuff. These I am making witch balls, so that is what that is about. We're going to move down to the drawers. In this drawer is where I keep the majority of my pens and colored pencils. There's a lighter in there because I like candles in here a ton. These ones are, so all of my markers, with the exception of 2 sets, are in here. So I've got some kind of like hodgepodge. There's like these Zig ones, which are really cool. I've got a bunch of these Sharpie ones. I've got these Olo ones. There's some Copics in here. There's just like kind of a little bit of everything. This whole one is all Tombos. And then this was the first set of colored pencils that I got before I got the big set. And then this is for calligraphy. This is for filming. It's just like a little light box stand thing, what have you. I am going to tell you that this drawer is hard to close because, well, in one of our moves, it had a fall. And so now they're a little off. This is a huge drawer, you guys. In case you can tell, I've got chalks. I've got another lint rollers, heating tools, a bajillion punches. This is the smaller Misty. We'll talk about that in just a second. This is all Halloween ephemera. Don't ask me why. We got some double stick tape, and then this is all highlighter tape. I love that stuff. We've got more alcohol pads there. And then this is all adhesives. And this is a sticky pad, but the rest of this is all adhesives. And I want to talk to you for just a second about that Misty. So this is the mini version. This was a collab that they had done. My Sweet Petunia makes, I think it's called My Sweet Petunia, right? My Sweet Petunia makes the Misty. And this is this like mini version. And then I have this like grip matte gel plate thing from scrapbook.com that I use with it. Anyway, the larger version of the Misty has a Bible verse on it. And for people who don't like that, this mini version, it doesn't. Now, I don't care one way or another, even though I'm not a Christian, a Bible verse doesn't really, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. However, I like to be totally transparent for those of you that it may be a deal breaker. While I love the Misty tools, there are other tools out there. The Tim Holtz one is great. You can't get the Tim Holtz one anymore though, because I guess there was like some sort of like copyright or patent thing. I don't really even know about that, but honestly, I don't notice the Bible verse. I don't see it anyway, because I keep it covered 99% of the time. So it doesn't bother me. But you know, if it bothers you, maybe look at other options. I know you can get like the Tim Holtz one like on eBay and stuff. I used to have it. I actually gave it to my sister because I had like a bajillion of them. This puppy I love. So this thing will fold in like this when it's not in use, and it folds out. I got this in the kitchen section at Daiso. It's just like a little over the whatever drawer garbage can, and it's amazing. I love that thing. Okay, now in this drawer houses a bunch of little jemmies. I always have gloves. This is a wax melt, and then I've got some more little jemmies. This is from a kit I just got from Simon Says Stamp, so I have not put those away. I do have some wood blanks and some, this is a really interesting tape, a double stick tape that I got from Daiso. And this is another one of those little snack station things, which houses like paper clips, and then like clothespins. I don't know what I'm doing with those beads yet, y'all, but I got them when Joann's was closing out, and I thought they were super cute. And then I've got some little Q-tips in there. And that is that drawer. We're now going to move on to these cabinets. And we're going to talk about these cabinets just a little bit, because a lot of people have asked me about these cabinets. So these are granite top cabinets. They have 3 drawers and a shelf. And these cabinets are absolutely amazing. I got them for free off the marketplace when a hotel was doing a remodel. And I picked up 3 of them because I was like, I bet I can figure out some sort of use for these in my house. And so I picked up 3 of them. They came in this kind of a dark cherry wood, like these, like this color of the chair. They came in that color, and I hated them. And that's what I used the Chalky Chicks for. I didn't, like, I could have done this a lot thicker. I just chose not to, because I kind of liked the like rustic look of like a little bit of the wood kind of peeking through when I did it. But if you don't like that look, well, that's okay. So we'll go through these really quick. On top, I'm sure that there are more functional ways to store these, but I love this little carousel. This houses the majority of my Nuvo drops. Here, this is from Daiso as well. This is like a 2-piece kind of deal, a bigger one, taller one on top. We've got some more cards from a class that I took at 3 Craft Chicks. This was a cute little gumball from Queen and Company, and it has just little puffs in there. These are for like purses, keychains, whatevers. And then this is just like fun little like sprinkles and things in there. These are paint pens up here. Somebody actually made this for me at a 3 Craft Chicks event, and I thought it was so stinking cute, and it's got little cards inside, and it was just amazing. This is a nearly empty bin. I use this a lot when I am doing diamond dots, so that is what lives in there. And this, I'm going to try not to like completely make horrible noises, but it's going to make a little bit. So this little bin houses, I call these a lippy clips. I don't know what they're actually called, but this version, most of these came from Daiso. These are just the like binder clips, or some people call them bulldog clips. And then this is just like a bunch of different kinds of this style of clips. So I've got little tiny lippy clips in here, the medium size in this one, and the big ones over here. Okay. My friend Heather makes these mug rugs, you guys, and they're absolutely amazing. So shout out to Heather at Heather's Treasure Fix, because these are super cool. And she makes them in all different fun, funky patterns. So I love that. I do have like a cutting mat here, a couple of different punches. This is the 3-hole, and then this is the, I call them a mushroom punch. I don't know what anybody else calls them, but that's what I call it. And then, of course, my giant Auto Gemini lives right there. All right, so here in these, we have embossing powders. There is my silhouette. I'm going to try to come down here just like this so you can actually see. This is my silhouette. I call him Bob. And yes, I use a silhouette. I do not use a Cricut. I'm not a fan of the Cricut machines. Yes, I've tried them. I really just prefer the silhouettes. So let's get this chair moved out of the way real quick so you can see what's in this drawer. So in here, this is all wire for wire bending. I've got a couple of blanks in here, and then these are all like pads for my silhouette machine. I've got some extra washi in here. That in the back is called a sealer meal, and it is, I specifically use it for making water cards. It's like the 1970s version of like the like sealing your bag, like sealing your food kind of thing. In front of that is the mink. Obviously, I've got some pens and foil cooling stuff for my silhouette. And then these are stickers for my Xyron machines, like refill things for my Xyrons. In here is all wood stamps that I can't bring myself to get rid of. I don't use them a ton, but I do use them. And so I do keep them for that reason. All of these are different cutters with the exception of this, which is, this is a, We Are Makers, like, it's like the Misty, but for We Are Makers, and it's okay, but I don't really use it, and I'll probably get rid of it. But all of these are different cutters and scorers and all of that. And that is that entire one. Over here, this on the top is all adhesive, like spray adhesive. And then these are just some blanks. Down here, this is where I keep my chameleon pens. I've got punches in this drawer. This one is all like not solid adhesive, or like not liquid adhesive. It's all like tape runners and things. And then the bottom one is all adhesive refills. This, y'all, are project kits. There's stuff that I'm working on. I know it's a lot, but I've been taking a lot of classes over the Christmas, like, holiday season, and there's stuff I'm working on that just aren't finished yet. These I got in the dollar spot at Target, and they're little candy, like turn the thing and the candy comes out. Okay. They're very fun. Moving over here, we've got my Gemini MIDI. This one is not an automatic machine. It is a manual machine. It took me forever to learn how to use this thing, but now that I did, I really do like it. I've got my Tim Holtz rotary cutter here because this is the one that I use the most. Some washi that I use a lot back here. I have a love-hate relationship with these particular style of washi holders. So I don't know. It's, if you like them, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Over here, this is probably one of my favorite tools in my craft room. This is my Epson PictureMate PM400 printer, which is amazing. If you don't know about these printers, huge fan, huge fan. We've got more scissors here, and this is all ephemera underneath here, and that's the keyboard to my iPad. And then you guys, I'm going to back up and pan a little bit so that you guys can see. This is the reason, this wall right here, this wall is the reason that this became the craft room and not our bedroom, was because it had this pegboard wall. And this pegboard wall has got to be, it's like 4 foot by 8 foot. So it's absolutely huge. And it just has so much stuff on it. So obviously I have a lot of decor on here, like my create signs and some of my stuff. These are supposed to be for paper towels, so I do have some paper towels on one of them. But they're great for washi, honestly. And so I used a bunch of them for washi. These little cups are, these are extra pegs for the thing. I'm going through menopause, so there's always a fan in here. This is this super cute from a class that I took from Scrappy Boy Stamps, which if you don't know about them, huge shout out to them because I love their stuff. So big fan of Scrappy Boy. This was from a class at Stamp and Scrapbook Expo in Puyallup. And then this is just a little, you know, what do they call those things? I call them a spatula. I don't know what they call them. Anyway, on this shelf though, whoa, sorry about that, y'all. As you get old, I've realized that when I try to squat down, I get a little dizzy sometimes. So these are some different notebooks that I'm working on that are like travel-y themed ones. This is basically empty. And then I've got these Xyron machines, and I do have some space still here, which makes me super happy. This entire thing is glitter, y'all. Just glitter and glitter and glitter, and a little sewing kit. This one is all needle felting. There actually is some paper quilling in there as well, but mostly needle felting. I might move the paper quilling down here, actually. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to move the paper quilling down there because this makes more sense in my brain than it is up there. Okay, this is all faux leather, HTV scraps, and this is, and not just HTV scraps, some of it's vinyl scraps too, but HTV and vinyl scraps. Okay, so now we're back on the other side of the room. We're going to go over to this bookshelf. I've got a bunch of different binders down here. Most of these binders that you find in my craft room are inspiration. This one is actually cards that I made. These are all Denami designs. And I don't even know if she, as a company, exists anymore, but I loved her styles. It's very beautiful, like kind of Japanese-y style. Absolutely beautiful. And so I made the cards, and then they all have the instructions with them. I probably should, like, at some point, like, move the cards and like take photos of them and then put the photos in there, but I have not done that. This is just some more art that I love. This is my 3D printer. I've got my mug press here, and then these are all of the pads for the various die cut machines I have. This is the super cute box, and it is from Queen and Company, and in it is all stuff for shaker cards. So then moving down, this orange binder is my Technic resource binder, which is super helpful. It's Justine Hovey type of, anyway, it's her resource binder, and I think it's super useful and really handy, and I really do love it. Over here, these are just some different boxes and cards, bases, envelopes. These are pre-done cards. This top one is all like pom-pom strips. I use them in Traveler's Notebooks. And then underneath is all, in the one right below it, is all like baker's twine. Down here, we've got more finished cards. This is all, this entire thing right here, you guys, is all for shaker cards. There is that. And then we have the closet. So there are two closets exactly like this in this room. Why they didn't just make this one huge closet, I don't know. But on this top shelf is all 8.5 by 11 paper. In the back behind, because this, you can see this roof line slopes a lot. Back behind is just some like extra like rags and things like that, because I'm a very messy crafter. In this little toolkit are exactly that. They're like screws, nails, like all that kind of good jazz. Down here on this shelf, I've got all of the stamp and die sleeves. In the back there are all these little boxes and things. I don't know if you can see that because there's not a lot of light in here. The light in this closet burned out. But these are like they're a bunch of different size trays that I use when I am doing card making. And that's like kind of the entire back there. We've got some envelopes here. Down here, we've got some jewelry making. And these are more collections that I need to find a home for. And then down on the bottom, that is another one of these lights for filming. And my shot boxes down there, my toolkit. And then I've got some more just projects to kind of go through. And then I've got some art on this wall that I absolutely love. And that is that one. Okay, so this is the other piece that's going to end up getting painted that same blue, because I just don't really love the dark cherry wood. I love dark wood in a craft room, y'all. I'm not a white craft room kind of girl because, yikes, I'm way too messy for that. But I love this particular piece. I got this for free from the marketplace. They labeled it as an entertainment center. It does have a couple of doors that I could put on here, but I just don't know that I'm going to. And then all of these shelves were adjustable. So I made them work for me. And we're gonna, on the top here is just fun stuff. So I have a little Polaroid camera. It actually works. Very fun. I always have candles. This is a little, literally like cork board. It does not have glass in it, so I could put stuff on it. I bought this at a fun little witchy market I went to. We've got some Posca paint pens here. This box came from a company called Ishq Skincare, which is amazing. And this was from a collection that they were doing, and it was hand painted by people, I don't remember where, that it was like trans people that were struggling with rights in their country. And then this is super cute little mug I got at Barnes & Noble, and some little trays and bowls that I got from a potter friend of mine. Down here, these are traveler's notebooks. This is 6x8 paper pads. This entire thing right here is tags. This is all 8x8. We've got butterflies in here. I love these boxes, but I didn't know what to do with them. But I didn't want to get rid of them, so they're gonna live there. And this one is all roller stamps. Literally roller stamps for days. This one, y'all, sorry, I had to kind of sit down because I'm too old to just squat. This entire one is dies. These are not organized very well, so I am going to go through and organize those in a similar way that I organize my stamps. But those are all dies. Down here, I organize my stamps by, not collection. I don't want to call them collections, but I organize them by like theme, I guess you would say. So in this one, I have gnomes, and then I have winter and Yule, and Christmas. So that is what is in there. This one is entirely sentiments. These are all embossing folders. I'm going to get this one out because I actually want to show you this, because this is super cool. So my mom, I got a lot of these from my mom. All of these ones that are in her beautiful handwriting. And what my mom did, and I don't know how well this is going to come through because the light's kind of, so it's putting some funky shadows on here. But if you can see this at all, so So she embossed like on the actual like things and then made them into little pouches for the embossing folders. And I thought that was so genius. And so I kind of continued doing that. The only thing that I did differently was where I could, I put what company it was. So if I knew the company, I wrote on what company it was. I haven't done it with all of them. Obviously, I just got this Simon Says stamp one recently in a kit. So I haven't done it with all of them yet. But I thought it was really genius because then you can really get a good look and see what it's going to look like before you pull it out to use it. So that is that one. The drawers, honestly, they're just a mess. These are, if I had a junk drawer in my craft room, this is all 8x8, or not 8x8, 8.5 by 11 paper. That doesn't have another home. This one, again, just more stamp and die sets. I do not separate if it's a stamp and die set or a stamp die and stencil set or whatever. I keep all of that stuff together in one thing. If it's just a stamp, they're all like that. So I don't separate those out. I know people that do. If it's just a die and it doesn't have a stamp set that goes with it, then it goes in the one that's for dies. You know, if it's just an embossing folder, doesn't have anything that goes with it, it goes just in that thing. If it's just a stencil, it goes up on the wall, like that kind of thing. But as far as stamps and dies go, I keep all of those together. All right, now we missed this cart. This cart is literally my planner cart. So it's got different companies like Carrie Bradford and Heidi Swap. Stickers, Happy Planner, all of that stuff lives on this cart here. Moving to this side of the room, this little 2-drawer thing, I think it needs some wheels. I don't know. I think it used to be taller. I'm not really sure. It needs something. We're going to figure that out, or we might just get rid of it and get something different. But this houses only white cardstock. On top right here, so that I can store them sideways, are my Ohuhu 216. I just got this thing, you guys. I'm so excited about it. It's my Ohuhu alcohol ink markers. And then this giant roll of 3M is sticky. Okay, so on this wall, we have washi. These are actually these shelves are mounted to the wall. Some of them have hooks. These were IKEA. I built these. Sorry, I know you can probably hear my husband and my dogs in the background. So some of them have hooks, some of them don't. I just didn't put hooks on all of them, but you can. But I got these like crazy on clearance from IKEA. And I actually have thought about painting these blue as well, but for now, I kind of like them the way they are. In this closet, we have a lot of stuff. So over here, this is my paper making kit. These are all inspiration stuff. This is all rolls and sheets of vinyl, my little witch. And then that's my button maker. Sorry if you can hear my dog, he's very loud. In this top one, these are all lenses for my camera. Then I've got some different fabric and stuff. And then this stuff is all just blanks. Over here, I've got some more cleaning wipes. And then this rolly cart, which I use this one probably more than anything else in my craft room, is my Traveler's Notebook rolling cart. And this is all Layle by Mail products. So I love that. Then this, in these drawers, it's a bunch of different stuff. Honestly, I keep meaning to label them, I don't. And then we've got rolls of 651 adhesive. There's filament right there for my 3D printer, and then just some flowers for jewelry making and what have you. Both of these carts are on wheels, and this one actually has like a thing that comes out, which I find super handy. Again, more washi shelves over here. I do keep some other stuff. So these are the pearl pens. We've got pops of color down here. This one just has way too much washi. And I actually need to take it off and put like some more of this up here. But this is all Christmas washi. And then this is all stickles here. This one is actually currently empty. I've just got some fun stuff here. This is like basically paint thinner, for lack of a better phrase, and some masks there. These are for making the stamp pressure tool, which I'll show you in a minute. And these are really heavy duty staples. Up here, I've got foam mounting tape, another just fun little shelf. We've got some scissors in different like patterns. Most of these are corner rounders of some type. And then paintbrushes. And these brushes, y'all, are all for ink blending. The funny thing about those, so these ones right here, which I'll have to show you because they're so funny. These are all brand new. They're not labeled because somehow in my move, I lost, and when I say lost all of the red ones. I don't know how, but it was really annoying and I lost it and therefore it was just gone. This is a brayer. I've got a couple different versions of that. We've got some different hammers up here. A little sign that I just made. My Create sign, which I love from Michaels. Here, this is my crocodile tool in the back, which is ginormous and heavy and whatever. And a paper crimper. There's more of that washi that we looked at earlier. This is another one of those sets from Daiso. I've got this, which is my stamp pressure tool. I do love this one, but but when I do it, there's like this has, I don't know if you can see that. It's got kind of a sharp point on the top. So, the ones I am making, will not have that. I've got just some mint tape and, PET tape, some different stuff, hole punches, whatever. This, has some Post-it notes in it, but underneath the Post-it notes, it's all just 4x6 and 5x7, literally glossy photo paper for my Epson Picture Mate. Got a little Simon Says stamp thing. These under here are all beads for beading. This is just a light I didn't bother to put away. A little desktop garbage can. This is my Ott light, which I love. This is a filming light that like literally it's like got a little camera and it'll follow me around the room. More washi. I know, shocked by all the washi in here. I love these. So let's take a minute and just look at this for a second. These, I got at Target like a billion years ago. And they're just these fun little cabinets. And they have a little drawer. All the little drawers have tape in them, adhesive of some type, foam dots, whatever. But then on the shelves, they all have different stuff. So this one has like alcohol, water, the misty like spray stuff, the stamp cleaner, like whatever. And I really do think they're really fun. These are watercolors that I got out and didn't put away. This is another one of those just acrylic blocks. I literally have one of these on every work surface. This one used to have like little Post-it notes on it, because hence the little white square. But I now use it for the stamps like we talked about earlier. Okie doke. This, I don't know why that box is there. I got it as to put like gift cards for one of my son-in-laws in there. This is another one of those little vacuums. This one I got from my mom, and it's when she passed away, and it was hers, and it was a cute little ladybug, so I couldn't bring myself to get rid of it. We're going to take these down though so you can see what's in here. This is just foam mounting tape, the whole thing, foam mounting tape in the top up there. If you would like to know, these little drawer sets came from Lowe's. They came in a bajillion different colors. I really liked this kind of minty color. It kind of goes with my stuff, so I really liked it, and that's why I got that one. but it comes as 2 separate pieces. And I think I got them when they were on sale, and they were like under 20 bucks, and they were super fun. Okay. In this top drawer here, we have, this was like a tool set that came from scrapbook.com. So it's like the little picker-upper thingamabob, reverse tweezers, and these scissors, you guys, are amazing, amazing, amazing. And then I just keep a little like sewing tape measure in there. I think that's what they call them, because they're like soft-sided. And then usually there's a pair of fussy cutting scissors in those, but they're currently not in there. In this one, I have different types of double stick tape, and then this is like correction tape. I've got some foam mount tape, different stuff like that in there. This one is all like detail brushes. Some of these I got for free, like as a freebie. Like I honestly don't know where all of them came from. Like this one is a Lisa Horton, so I'm sure that came from scrapbook.com. These little tiny ones I bought at Stamp a Scrapbook Expo, and they came from Cat Scrappiness. And I love these, you guys. They are so fun, and they're a great little size and great for traveling. In this drawer, we've got some more of these reusable paper towels. And then this stuff is amazing. Simon Hurley actually turned me onto this. This is, it's like stamp foam, basically. And so you can heat it up. You put a pattern in it. I'm sorry, you can hear my husband. He's being really loud. You heat it up, you put a pattern in it, and then you can use it to stamp. And then when you heat it up again, the pattern goes away. Okay, so that is that. Let's get that one put back in here. And then in the bottom drawer, these are like little tiny inks. Most of these are either from Simon Says Stamp, or I've got some from Concord and Ninth. And they're usually from different projects that I'm doing. And then I have a ton of these little stamp dauber things. I keep meaning to get more of this. I'll show you guys in a little bit, but there's this thing that I have that I keep meaning to get more of to organize those. This is literally just pens. Another one of these. This one only houses adhesives. So I've got all of the bajillion different sizes of the scrapbook.com mint tape. And then I have this stuff. Oh my God. Sorry, you guys. That was so wobbly. This stuff right here is called tip-in tape. And I absolutely love this stuff. It is specifically for doing just that, like tip-ins, hinges, like whatever. And it's way sturdier than using like washi for that stuff. And it's got like a split down the middle, and like it's not cut down the middle, but it has like a split down the middle where it's like got like a bend, like so that you can specifically fold it. And it now comes like this. And you guys, this is so fun. So this is a collaboration between Lauren Phelps, who makes the tip-in tape, like that's the company, and Amy Tangerine, who I absolutely love. She is just like an icon in the like traveler's notebook, planner, like whatever world. I just love her. She's so sweet. I get this off of Layle by mail. So if you're looking for this, it comes in all these fun patterns now, and I'm super duper excited about the patterns. And then the bottom, this one again is just more like foam, squares, dots, whatever foam things. I'm going to put these guys back in here before we move on. Okay. Now, the downside of these little things is because they're like on the shelf that they're on, they like wobble about a little bit. This is all washi from Layle by mail. It's the one I use the most. That's why it lives on my desk as opposed to living somewhere else. This is just stencil brushes, tools of all different kinds. These are all like petals, and they're all like silicone stuff for resin work. More pens, and this is like a stamps from Layle that I'm currently using in my traveler's notebook, so they live out there. The one thing I forgot to show you guys over here that I want to go back to is this. So this is from scrapbook.com. These are microfiber claws and they just like tear away, but they are reusable. Huge fan of those. I think they're absolutely amazing. And then these are all of my color swatches. So I've got my inks. I've got stickles on here. I've got Nuvo drops on here. I've got the mists on here. I've got my literally everything, my pens, all that stuff. And then this, which we also bypassed, is my big like shirt press. It's my large heat press. Down here is my sublimation printer. In the yellow bins down here is all macrame. And then this is for my button machine. And these are the like little acrylic-y, I don't even know what they call this stuff, but they're like little pillows for heat press. Okay, moving back to this table. Down here, on this shelf, this is all envelopes. We've got card bases here, 6x6 paper there, and then this is miscellaneous 6x6 and 6x4. In this top drawer is all of my Ranger inks. These are all Quick Quotes inks back here. This is the inks I use the most. Here's some Encore inks. And this is my large Misty stamping platform tool. In the next drawer down, I know you're shocked by this, y'all, more ink. So I've got more ink pads here. This is all marble for marbling back there. This is alcohol inks, acrylic paints, and then this is all texture pastes in these two. And in the bottom one, so here, these are all like chipboard and wood blanks, or shapes, or whatever you want to call them. This one has all like crystal-y gems. These are all like little bags. We've got some pre-done like sentiment type of things there. This is all hearts. This is all little gems. All of it. And this is all little pearls. And then here is where I keep all of my sprays. All right, y'all, thank you so much for coming with us today to tour the craft room. We hope that you found some inspiration and just had fun with us. If you like this type of content or you like seeing other types of crafty videos, we have a lot more coming in the new year. The last couple of years were really hard. And so we kind of took a break from filming, but that didn't mean we took a break from creating. What that does mean is that this year we are back at it and we will be creating all of the things in all of the spaces, and we hope that you will come along on this magical journey with us. If you would be so kind, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. It's the best way that you can support this creator or any creator out there. And if you liked what you saw, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the bell so you get all the notices for future videos. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.